Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Joe. And in today's video, I want to teach you how to speak English better. I'm going to do that by telling you some common grammar mistakes that people make when they're speaking. I'm also going to show you 3 conversations of people talking to each other using that grammar, and then there's going to be questions afterwards. All right, so if you stick around and watch the whole video, you will get a great lesson that will improve your speaking. All right, let's get started. The first grammar point has to do with the word like. Sometimes students make a mistake and they say, I like something, when they should say, I would like something. I'll give you an example. So if they say, I like going to New York when they've never been there before, that's a mistake. That's wrong, right? We use I like with habits or opinions. I like watching movies. I like ice cream, okay? So those things are your opinion, and they are the same forever. But you don't go to New York, so you don't really have a habit of it. What you should use in that case is I would like. Okay, so that means right now is what you want. I would like to go to New York. That's correct. I would like some ice cream right now. All right, so you got to be careful. Don't mix those two up. The second point has to do with when people are talking about places. And often they'll say something like, do you know Iran? All right, that is wrong. We don't say it that way. What you should say is, have you ever heard of Iran? That's right. Or, what do you know about Iran? Okay, if you're asking about a famous place, like a country, and you're talking to an educated person, if you just say, do you know, then it makes it sound like, I don't think you do know, right? But a more polite way to say is, have you ever heard of, and then maybe a city in your country, right? Have you ever heard of Tokyo, right? That's the biggest city, one of the biggest cities in the world, so it's famous. But if you said, have you ever heard of Fukuoka? It's a smaller city in Japan. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't, okay? So remember that when you're talking about cities or countries. Then the third grammar point that I want to talk about has to do with the words wish and hope. Sometimes students mix these up. They use them incorrectly. For example, people might say, I wish you will pass the test. That is wrong. Okay? You should say, I hope you will pass the test. All right? The reason why we should use hope. Hope is something that we use for the future. I hope you pass. I hope you get a job. I hope you find a girlfriend. Okay? Something like that. That's hope being for the future. Wish is mostly used to talk about things you want to change right now. I wish I had $1 million. I wish I had more hair. I wish I knew Tom Cruise. Okay? So that's kind of talking about things that aren't true, but you wish they were true. All right? So you got to watch those. Now, coming up next, we're going to do the conversations, and you can see how these words are used while speaking. But before we do that, I want to tell you a secret code. This secret code is something that I want you to send to me on Instagram at Teacher Joe Crossman, and then I'll know that you've made it this far and you're a fantastic student, and I should help you more. And I will. If you send me that message, I'll send something to you. All right, but not just one secret code. There are three. This is the first one. The first one is, I hope you like this video. Send that to me in a direct message on Instagram. All right, now here are the conversations. What do you want to do tonight, Joe? I would like to go to the new Tom Cruise movie, Bernie. Awesome. I like his movies. Hey, you look a little bit like Tom Cruise, Joe. I would like to believe you, Bernie. Okay, so that's the first question. Now here are three questions about that conversation. Question number one, what are their names? Question two, what does Joe want to do tonight? And question three, what does Bernie like? All right? So that's the first conversation. Let's move on to the second conversation. Hey Joe, have you ever heard of the country named Georgia? Yes, Bernie. Do you know my friend Lamb? He's from Georgia. Oh, cool. What do you know about the country, Joe? Well, for one thing, the capital is called Tbilisi, I think. Also, it's a super beautiful country. All right. Now, I don't know about my pronunciation, but that's a conversation using have you ever heard of? Now, here are three questions that go with that conversation. Question one, what was Bernie's first question? Number two, what is Joe's friend's name? And number three, what is the capital of Georgia? All right, now let's go on to the third conversation. Joe, what would you want if you had a wish? Oh, I would wish for $10 million. What about you, Bernie? I wish I had $20 million and more hair for you. Ha ha. I hope your wish comes true, Bernie. All right. So that was the third conversation. Now, before I give you the three questions, here is the second secret code in this video. The second secret code is, have you ever heard of Georgia? All right. Send that to me in a direct message and I'll know you made it this far. Fantastic. But don't stop. Here are the questions. And after that, I'm going to give you the answers. So the first question, what does Joe wish he had? Number two, what does Bernie wish for Joe? And the last one, what does Joe hope for? All right? So those are the three questions, and I hope you get all those right. Now you can check your answers because I'm going to give you the right answers right now. Let's go back to conversation one. What are their names? Their names are Joe and Bernie. Number two, what does Joe want to do tonight? He would like to go to the new Tom Cruise movie. And number three, what does Bernie like? He likes Tom Cruise movies. All right? Conversation number two questions. Number one, what was Bernie's first question? And his first question was, have you ever heard of the country of Georgia? Number two, what is Joe's friend's name? And the answer is Joe's friend's name is Lamb. All right, and question 3, what is the capital of Georgia? And the capital city is Tbilisi. I don't know about my pronunciation though. Let's go on to the answers for the third conversation. Number 1, what does Joe wish he had? Joe wishes he had $10 million. What does Bernie wish for Joe? Bernie wishes Joe had more hair. And last, number 3, what does Joe hope for? Joe hopes Bernie's wish comes true. All right. So those are the answers. Here is the third secret code to this wonderful video. And the third secret code is I like watching movies. Okay, I really hope you enjoyed this lesson. If you want to keep studying, then I'm going to put a link right here. And if you click on that, you can keep listening. You can see my beard, maybe see a different shirt. But the most important thing is that you keep learning English. All right? By the way, do you have $10 million? See ya.